I'm going to assume that it's working properly. There's no reason for it not to be. Let me hit done. I think I just want to share my screen, start the broadcast, optimize the video, and we'll start here. Okay. All right. Greetings, scholars. So, one, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Something random just from the weekend. I don't know if I try to share this with the students. It's just something that's free to do. It's fun. A friend of mine, she was like, can we go to the High this weekend? She was like, there's an event put on by she doesn't sound like that. That was a horrible rendition of what she but she was like, there's an event put on by Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. She ended up not going, but I went anyway. And it was really good. Like, that was, in my opinion, that was one of the best exhibits that I've experienced there. But viewing art in a gallery I feel like it's an acquired taste because it can be really boring. And for whatever reason, I just resonated with what they were presenting. So it was basically artwork created by Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats, just fashion. And I don't know if it's because I like the artist or whatever. I don't know what it was, but I enjoyed it. It was his vibe, So it was. I was glad I went out there. So that event is supposed to be going on until through January, and like I want also the second Sunday of every month is free admission at the High. So that was yesterday. So I mean, I guess if you wait for like another month to the next second Sunday, if you want to attend for free, then it'll be there. It's just something fun to do. Just hung out in the city, grabbed a bite to eat, try some restaurants, stuff like that. So hopefully you all had a great weekend. And so when I was kind of reviewing the notes in preparation for the class today, it looks like we should be in the middle of exam 2. I really want to check something. Oh, let me check something real quick. I guess I can do it from here. Assignments. I just want to see something that could be problematic if I don't. And if you've already taken it, it'll be okay. This stuff should be removed. Let me see. Okay. I just want to list the question details. Just want to make sure. I see those got to go. Those have got to go. How many do I have? I have a good amount. Okay. All right. So let me remove this right now, and I need to do it from other students as well. Okay. Edit. Hopefully it'll let me do it. It may or may not add or remove content. Okay. Looks like okay. I think we're good. So yeah, let me do this now because I know that these questions can be problematic. I just realized that like as I was setting up for class, so I want to remove these guys because otherwise, it's just really disgusting. Let me remove these because they just don't work. And it's more of a headache to try to figure out to get those to work than it's easier to just remove them. So what happens as a result? Now I think I can remove them retroactively as well. I can omit them, but if I can remove them now before you guys start, that's ideal. And I do need to go ahead and update my main one. So just give me a few minutes to kind of remove these questions because I know that these wreak havoc. Come on. All right. So let me remove these. So remove. Yeah. Okay. I think it looks a lot better. Okay. I think that's reasonable. Okay. Saving the sign. Okay. So I need to copy that. I only got 2 others. Let me just change my other ones real quick. Back to my courses. Come on. Let's go. This one. Hopefully nobody started. I know it's been up since yesterday. And we'll talk about all this. Manage, but if I need to remove this. Like I said, I didn't realize it until just now when we got ready to start. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure those are gone. Edit. Okay. Remove. Come on. I got one more class, maybe 2 more after this one. Okay, let's go. Let's go. And like the concept, so basically these are like interactive figures. These are cool and all, but they just don't work. Sorry for like eating into y'all's time, but this is super time sensitive. I normally try to keep edits like this out of class time, but just give me a moment. Come on. And these guys. Okay, I got like two more after this. Remove. Okay. All right. I think those look good. That looks much better. Okay. I need to hit save and assign. Hopefully this other class nobody started. Back to my courses. And then I need to edit my main because this keeps happening because I don't update the main. So I'm going to go ahead and update the main now so that in the future we don't have this issue. I'll be right with you guys. I am coming. No Diddy. That's so bad. Like that's mind boggling to me how like you can just change, it's like, it was one thing before and now after all of that is he's taking over all of that whole thing anyway. It's just silly. Okay. Another thing that was interesting this weekend was it was Pride weekend here in the city. And so, like when I was on my way to the museum, I get on the highway. There's traffic because, like, I've been practicing trying to navigate without the GPS, without the navigator. And so I was like, okay, well, I know the route. So I started heading, into town, and then I get onto the highway 75, 85 north, and there's traffic, which there usually is. And then, you know, my mom was like, this is like Pride weekend. I was like, oh crap. And she looked up the route. And so like whatever route we were taking, you know, um, we were basically like working our way into a corner like that we were not because we needed to get on the far side of Peachtree or the north side of remove the north side of 10th Street. And it just was not gonna happen. So we ended up having to like get off and like find a route that completely went around the parade route. Okay, this looks good. I'm gonna hit save and assign, and I just want to do one more, and then we get the party started. Let me see. Back to my courses, and the only other one I need to change is this one right here. So, fortunately, it doesn't look like any of you guys started, which is a-okay. That actually helped me out. Manage. Yeah, we'll get it started. And so the reason that was interesting to me because you know, uh-oh. I guess that's okay. That should be a good sign. I'm gonna just go ahead and sign that. Doesn't matter. Um, edit. Come on. So I was watching that series, The Circle, and then one of the episodes, the Pride Parade was going on outside, so they kind of filmed it from. But that wasn't this year. That was, I guess, a year ago. I was like, oh, I didn't know. And so, like, I think I mentioned not too long ago, I went by that building and found a building where they were filming The Circle. So that was interesting. And then sure enough, it's right there where Pride would be. Pride Parade. Come on. Oh, all right, that looks good. And then this. Okay. Okay, and then one more set right here. Let's go. Let's go. I'm glad I caught these before anybody did it because it's just a headache. Like they just don't work. And then I had to backtrack and try to omit and delete. It's easy as if those were just not there. And I think there's like I got to check the other exams. I'll check those later. Okay. Sorry for that delay, guys. Thanks for hanging tight. Let's get back to ours. Back to courses. Come on. Don't do that. Whatever. We'll just go like this. Right there. Yeah. Of course, this is what it wants to do. Let's try going here first. Come on. Sign in. Oh, shyster. Let me see what else. Let me see. My 11 mastering. Pearson. What else could I do to get this to restart? I might have to reboot this. Sometimes, a lot of times, you just have to kind of wait it out. Just give it like a minute or two, which seems to be the case here. Anywho, seems like we're back in action. Okay, so let me kind of pull up our files for today, and then let's try to get back into it. So it's at the bottom. This guy. Okay, exam 2 study guide. So again, as we were moving into the start of class today, I went on and just created this like makeshift study guide. And basically what this is, these are like all the possible questions that Pearson could ask from sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6, right? So exam 2 has been available since I think like yesterday morning at 11:11. And you saw me, and I saw where nobody had started, which is fine. But it actually helped. So I went and removed some questions that typically, generally are problematic. It looked like you still have about 20 questions in their pools, Anywho, but I think it's unlimited attempts. The system is set to take your highest score. So today, what we'll do a review session, go through as many questions pertaining to the exam as possible together. If you have questions from the homework or quiz or anything that you're working on in Pearson, today is a great day to ask those questions and we can work on it together. Otherwise, I'll just kind of randomly jump around these list of questions. And then on Wednesday, I'll probably do an attendance quiz, like a quiz that you take on Wednesday just to show that you were here. No more than 5 questions, maybe 10 questions, something like that, 5 to 10 questions, somewhere in that range. On Wednesday, you complete that quiz, and then you'll be free to go. But we'll save that for Wednesday. So that's usually how I like to do my exam weeks. Okay, I can't think of anything else. So our first question for today is going to be question 22. Let's hop over to question 22. Anybody got any interesting stories from the weekends that they're willing to share? Anybody do anything interesting? Did I scout a trail? What else did I do? No, I started to, but that's okay. Let's see. Zoom in some. I know it's a little bit hard to see. Sketch the graph of the piecewise function defined. Write the domain of the function. Let's see what else I can do. So I think what I'd like to do here. Right here. Poll. General multiple choice. Lunch. Okay. All right. So that looks decent. So right now there's an active poll. There's a poll that's live regarding this question. It's a good idea to just give some feedback, right? Just to see if you're thinking along the right lines. I'm gonna keep it as anonymous as possible, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let me give some backstory while you guys think about this as far as piecewise. So when it comes to piecewise functions, all it is multiple graphs on one chart, right? Or multiple functions graphed on one Cartesian plane. It's just that each graph is restricted. Now, I think we kind of explored graphing this on like Desmos. You can graph this on Desmos. I know we've done it before. You can also graph this on the TI-83 Plus. If anybody wants to see how to do that, we can do it together. Otherwise, I'll just kind of go ahead and do this. So for instance, like the first line would just be a V where the vertex is at the origin. That's been vertically stretched by a factor of 3. But we would only keep the left-hand side, right? So x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so we would only keep the left-hand side of that one, and it would end with a closed circle. And then 4x squared is going to be a parabola that's been vertically stretched by a factor of 4, but we're only keeping the right-hand side. And it looks like these two graphs will intersect. Okay, let me see. My vote would be... All right, I'm going to close the poll. We got 25 people. Only got 3 people. So one day that might make a difference. It just depends on my mood. So anywho, all right. So I felt like this one was C, right? Because the absolute value it says that only applies when x is less than or equal to 0. So we kept the left hand side of the absolute value and the right hand side of the parabola. And the only one that does that properly is C. So I'm going to go with C and check. Okay. Is that it for that one? Okay. Let's generate. Is that question? Oh, that's 11. I was like, is that number 1? So let's go to question 11. Oh, wait, there's more? Continue. Oh, there's more. Okay. What's the domain? So I'm just going to do this one. It should be all reals. The range is the very bottom to the very top. So y should be greater than or equal to 0. The lowest it goes is 0, and it goes up to infinity. Okay. So now let's go to question 11. Okay. Determine if the function is even, odd, or neither. Let's relaunch the poll. Relaunch. Okay. So yeah, I want to give you a moment to think about it. All right. So just take. I'll give you at least 20 seconds. All right. Kind of want to get my like non-copyrighted music. Okay, I want to say the word guess, but if you can see me, I'm doing like air quotes, because chance favors the prepared mind, right? When we prepare, when we do our assignments, when we do our homework, we drastically boost the odds of success in our favor, right? Okay, I'm going to close the poll. So here, I think I'm just going to say the definitions and avoid writing it out for now. So remember, the definition of an even function is when we evaluate f of negative x, we get back to the original. For the definition of an odd function, when we evaluate f of negative x, we get negative times the original. Even functions have y-axis symmetry. Odd functions have origin symmetry, right? So this one, if we replace x with negative x, you should quickly be able to see that we can get a negative times the original, which is the definition of it being odd. Okay, so that's the official way we would go about that. So I'm going to submit this. Okay, so we're going to let that be for now. Okay. Now we're going to do question 1. Where's my tower? It's over here. Ooh. All right. All right. So let's see what else we got. So question 1, write a linear function that has the indicated values when x is 0, y is 3, when x is negative 3, y is 0. So if we found the slope, let me see, xy, that would be, it looks like it would be a negative 3 over negative 3, which would be a 1. So it looks like this has a slope of 1. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. So by now, you should know how to find the slope between 2 points. Nope. And I'm moving a little bit quick, so sometimes that does kind of get us in trouble a little, but we're gonna go with it. So if we're doing like y equals mx plus b, and they gave us the b when x is 0, y is 3. So it looks like the equation of the line is x plus 3. So now before we submit it, we're gonna check, right? When x is 0, y is 3. When x is negative 3, y is 0. So we can be confident in this result. Okay. All right, choose the correct graph. Sorry. So it has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 3. So I'm just going to go with D. It can't be A and B because those both have negative slopes. Okay. All right. Let's generate. We can go to question 84. 84. Express the given function as a composition of 2 functions. I'm going to relaunch the poll. And I want to give you at least a minute on this guy. So I see a timer in the upper left-hand corner. Um, just take a moment to see if you can get this one. So this is decomposition, right? Let me see if I go here. What's the easiest way? No copy. Just this one. How can I get this? If I do like this. Okay, let's see if I get this to work. Oh, where'd it go? It's over here. Let's see the time. So, oh man, that was a fast minute. I swear time is accelerating. Okay. So let me pull this up. Ain't you I'll finish that later. It's hilarious. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Okay. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, that's it. Playlist. I'm coming, guys. No copyright gaming background music. Okay, that's fine. Work. Come on. All right. I'm not feeling that already. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with you guys. So first, let's just submit what the was majority and see if that works, and then we'll give a little bit of context. Nice, right? So decomposition, right? So so one of the we this week we talked about what combining functions, right? So uh, arithmetic or arithmetic operations on functions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing functions. And then we had a fifth concept called composition of functions. So that was like, it looks like fog, like FOG, but it's really F composed G, which means the second function inside the first function. So this is like decomposition of functions. Given a function, can we decompose it so that we can write it as one function inside of another? So if we let the inside function be where our G equals X plus 6, outside function is the square root of X. So then that way, when we say F composed G, we'll get H, right? Okay. So that's the backstory there. But you guys got it. I think I probably gave you too much time, but that's all good. Let's go to question 28. And I'm not feeling this one. Where's question 28? Sure. For this function, construct and simplify the difference quotient. Yeah, this one is a little bit involved. Okay, so I think for this one, I'm going to take some notes. Because they want the difference quotient with the f of x plus h jazz. And I know that this one tends to give students a hard time. All right, so let's start by getting a copy. Right here. And again, I just included the flyer on our tutoring. We've talked about this before. I've just, in case anybody is looking for it, I just want you guys to have access to it. So you know how to find the tutors. All right. All right. All right. So let's see what do we have here. Okay, so difference quotient is an application of like the slope between 2 points, and it leads into this concept in calculus called the derivative. So for here, we're given this f of x, and we want to apply the difference quotient to this f of x, this given function. So it's a good idea separately to go ahead and find f of x plus h. All right, so I'm just going to do that here. F of x plus h, okay? And so all we're going to do, we're going to rewrite f of x like normal. First, we're going to replace each x with a blank parentheses. Then we're going to plug the blue thing into each blank parenthesis, okay? So we have x squared plus 5. Now, fortunately, we only have one blank parenthesis. Now we put the blue thing into the blank parenthesis. And then we expand and simplify, all right? So if we FOIL, it's going to be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5. So there are no like terms. So then at this point, now we can do f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So f of x plus h is going to be the above part, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 5, okay? Then minus f of x, looks like it's x squared plus 5. Notice my use of parentheses, all over h, okay? So with that first set of parentheses, we don't need to distribute anything there. So the first set of parentheses we can lose. But that second set of parentheses, hopefully you see that we need to distribute that negative. If we don't distribute that negative, it's going to throw everything off, right? If we didn't use parentheses, the chances of us making a mistake are going to be drastically increased, okay? All right, so then the first part is a copy. The second part becomes minus x squared minus 5, okay? Now, you're kind of on the right track because you should have cancellations. This 5 is going to cancel this guy. This term cancels this term. And then notice that each remaining term still has an h with it, right? We got a 2xh plus h squared all over h. So now we can factor out h from these terms, okay? That's going to give us 2x plus h over h. Now that everything's multiplication and division, now we can start canceling factors. Just real quick, factors are things that we multiply and divide. Terms are things that we add and subtract, all right? Okay. So then finally, we get a result of 2x plus h as the difference quotient. All right, let's see how do we do. Oh no, what did we hit? I think we're okay. So we got 2x plus h. Let me see the time. Come on. 2x plus h. 2x plus h. And that is not a 2. Okay. I feel like there should be questions, but we're gonna forge on. Again, you have to stop me if anything isn't clear or anything of that nature. You know the deal. Generate. Let's go to question 4 this time. So given this function, this f and this g, okay. Okay, so I think for this one, I'd like to showcase what's this? Okay, I'll do Desmos. I was trying to decide if I was going to do Desmos or use my TI-83 plus. So let's do a demo. Let's do a demo on Desmos. And what I'll do, come on. Okay, that's fine. Fine. Okay. All right. Go to open a graphing calculator. Come on. This stuff is taking a sweet time today. Let me see. Can we reload? Get that working? Okay, I guess that's working. All right. So I'm gonna just type f of x equals, we got x squared minus 6x. See how easy? I just typed it as I saw it. I'm gonna hit enter. I have g of x equals 2 minus x to the power of 3. Okay. So then let's see how easy or maybe not easy it is to let's just type it directly as we see it. So I'm going to do parentheses f plus g of 1. Okay, did it give us a result? No. Okay, that's okay if that doesn't work. So if that's not going to work, then we can take it a step further. If we have, and it's supposed to be -1. If we have f plus g of -1, that means f of -1 plus g of -1. So let's try writing it that way. Okay. So we're going to say f of -1. You can see the result there. Then we're going to do plus g of -1. So it does take a little bit of effort, but we got a result of 10. All right. You can see it in the bottom right corner a little bit, right? So let's submit 10 and see what happens. 10. Enter. All right, that's good. All right. And if you wanted to do it manually, you plug in a -1 into F, you're going to get 1 plus 6 is 7. If you plug a -1 into G, it's going to be 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 plus 3 is indeed 10. All right. So, but since we have we have Desmos, might as well just keep it simple, right? So let's do G of 1 minus F of 1. G of 1, that's not a 1, minus F of 1. That's not a parenthesis. There we go. We got a result of 6. So here, I'm just going to type 6. And I feel like that's fine, And it still took a little effort. You still had to know, okay, you had that, what it means. It means G of 1 minus F of 1. And we don't always get the luxury of using it. So, whenever we can, just keep it simple and keep it moving, right? All right. Keep it simple, silly. Keep it simple, students. All right. Kiss. No, Diddy. Is that it? Oh, it's just frozen. Come on. Come on. You're disrupting my flow. Let's go. All right. I don't know how to get this to respond. I'm just going to reload it. Oh, now we got to type all this stuff again, which is what I was trying to avoid, but I guess I angered the technology guys. It doesn't matter. F of x equals x squared, okay, minus 6x, okay. G of x equals 2 minus x cubed, okay. So in C, we have f times g of 2. Again, that means f of 2 times g of 2. So we're going to say f of 2 times g of 2. We got a 48. And I might as well just go ahead and do d while I'm here. We're going to do g of 1 divided by f of 1. Okay. So we got 48 and negative 0.2. So here, we got 48. Negative 0.2, type an integer or simplified fraction. Okay, so they gave it to us in a decimal. I think we can change the format. There it is, a negative 1 over 5. Okay, not too bad. We got a solid 10 minutes. Let's generate. Let's go to question 10. Right here. Okay, determine algebraically whether the given function is even, odd, or neither. Again, you could guess. Let me relaunch the poll. Not too terribly bad. We'll just take a few seconds, no more than 30 seconds. All right, so just take some time. You can guess. You got a 30% chance of getting it right if you guess, but chance favors the prepared mind. Let me see what we got here. I'm not filling any of these. I had the one I had before. We'll try this. That's it. Of course, it doesn't want to load. Okay. All right. Is it pretty unanimous? Oh, okay. So it's not working. Okay. So I'm going to close the poll, and I think I'm going to go with the audience. All right. If anybody needs to see those details, just let me know. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Let's look at those details. All right. Okay. So I feel like we may have been tempted to just look at the power. We see a power, odd power, right? And then you think it might be odd. So again, one, chance favors the prepared mind. We weren't prepared, right? So here we should have replaced x with negative x. Let me think. If we replace x with negative x, right? If we have an odd number of negatives, that negative 4x cubed is going to become positive. No, so if we have a positive 4x cubed minus 7, notice that's not the original. If we factor out a negative, then we're going to have a negative times a negative 4x cubed plus 7, which is not negative times the original. So this is a good example of what happens if you get lulled into a false sense of security, just looking at the powers and thinking you should run the test. You should do the test. So replace x with negative x. Make sure either you either should get back to the original or you should get negative times the original, right? So that one, I'm going to leave that one as wrong, right? Because it's wrong. So if we were on the test, you put that, you lost points, all right? It's not as simple as just going with the crowd, because that means when the crowd falls, you're going to fall with them, right? But that's how these things go. Okay, I'm going to leave that one. Let's do another one. All right, I'm glad we had that experience. I felt like that would be the case, but I was like, no, I'm gonna just go with you guys, and if we get it wrong, we'll figure it out. Okay, so 59. But I felt like that was a good learning moment, right? Okay, so it says use the graph shown below. Use the graph of y equals f of x shown below to graph the function g, which is okay. So notice they multiplied the inside by a half. I'm going to relaunch the poll and give you anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. I know we're kind of short on time. Maybe I can get some music going finally. So just take at least anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Let me try another one. Can we get any of these to work? That would be nice. If this still doesn't work, what I can do, I'll work it here. I got to back up. Let's see if I go like this. Not now. Of course not. Just like this. That'll work. Let's just take 20 more seconds. What do you think is the answer? You're gonna get it right? I'm not feeling it. Almost. Oh, but I like the music though. It has potential. Let's go. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So let's see. Let's close the poll. Boom. So use the graph. Let's see. It's 40, 40, 20. Okay. I was gonna go for the whoever had the most, but it's not a clear split. All right, so let's talk about this, right? So this is transformations. We multiplied the inside by a number between 0 and 1, right? Recall, outside manipulations generally cause a vertical change and they follow our intuition. Inside manipulations typically cause a horizontal change and are generally the reverse of our intuition, right? So this should cause a horizontal change. We're multiplying by a smaller number, so we would think that, oh, maybe it should get smaller horizontally, but remember, it's the reverse of our intuition. So it should get bigger horizontally. So it should cause a horizontal stretch. And I think the only one that caused a horizontal stretch looks like B. All right? Yeah, let's go with B, horizontal stretch. Wow. Wait a minute, nobody chose B. Come on, guys. You're making me nervous. Oh, man, let me go with B. Oh, and it was so weird. Like when I looked at the choices that you guys chose, part of me was like, choose B, and I'm like, no, somebody got it right. Oh man. So those transformations, they can be, you know, they can be a little bit interesting because each transformation in and of itself is simple, but you string them together, it's a total of 10 transformations. It's easy to get lost in the sauce when it comes to those transformations. So that's another point. We're gonna need some practice with that exam. So you can work on your exam at any time, unlimited attempts, right? You're not in a practice environment, so it's okay. Um, and if you need help, you can ask help. Like if you're stuck, maybe next class or during office hours or something, if you need help, we're here. Okay, but that's another way. I was like, come on, guys, you're making me nervous. We got time for maybe one or two more. Let's generate. Let's go to question 80. Let's go to question 80. Okay. All right, let's look at 80. So another shameless marketing or plug for these different shows. This time of year, I like to watch certain shows, like anything that's spooky. Not horror and gore. I'll keep that to a minimum, but just like spooky, like just a little bit creepy, right? Goosebumps and stuff like that. So on Netflix, one show I just kind of like let loose. It's so silly to me. It's a show by the kid from Stranger Things, Gaten Matarazzi or something. I can't think of how to say his last name. It's a show called Prank Encounters. It is hilarious because like he basically it's like these people that sign up for these day gigs, like a 1 day job or whatever, and it's a prank show, so they don't know that they're being pranked. He usually gets two people at a time. And so, like, if you have like zombies and creepy teddy bears, and they be freaking out, it'd be so funny because it's so absurd. Like, it's clearly, absurd, but people be, because you're in a new environment, you're just trying to get the swing of everything. That should be so funny. I'd be like dying. I was like, man, I need more of this. The only thing I don't like about it is only 2 seasons, and I don't know that they're going to do more, but it's hilarious to me anyway. My nephew shared it with me. It's hilarious. Okay. Let's this will be our last one. Given this F and this G, find each composition. Now I'm curious. Let me see something with Desmos. It'd be nice if we could just clear all of this out in one fell swoop. Whoop, that's not what we want. That's fine. We'll just click on these. Okay. Let me type in this F and this G. I just want to see F of X. Nope. F of X equals 8 minus 2X. I want to see if we can do this here. G of X equals 9 plus X squared. Okay. Let's see if we can do F of G of X. Will this do anything? No, nothing. We might have to Google it. Maybe if we put it in Google, it can simplify this. But it looks like this might have to be something we do manually, and we are kind of out of time. F composes G. So we're replacing each X there. Okay, I think we can do it quickly. So we're going to write F of X like normal. I'm going to do 8 minus, I'm going to take some notes here, 8 minus 2X. There's my blank parentheses, okay? And then inside the parentheses, I'm going to put G, which is 9 plus, that's not a 9, 9 plus X squared, okay? So then it looks like we can distribute a negative 2. That's going to be a negative 18. So it looks like it's going to be a negative 2X squared minus 10. All right, distribute the negative 2, combine like terms. I'm going to go with this just in the interest of time. Okay. I'll do the domain. Shyster. Okay, so I do need to mention this, and this is going to have to be it because we're out of time. When it comes to the domain of a composite function, there's a 3-step procedure that I recommend. First, find the domain of the inside function. Second, find the domain of the simplified function. And then third, take their intersections. All right. So the inside function is 9 plus X squared, whose domain is all reals. The simplified function is that negative 2X squared minus 10, whose domain is also all reals. So then all reals intersection all reals is going to be all reals. So this one just happened to be all reals. So we're going to say like negative infinity to infinity and beyond. Oh, close parentheses. Okay. All right. So we're out of time. I'm going to leave that there. Are there any burning questions before we go our separate ways?
I need to talk to you after class. This is Zuri.
Okay. Box. Come on. Full. Traditional. This one. Notes. Updated daily. Okay. Should be like 30. Yeah, that's right. Choose this folder. Oh, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So when this window closes, you'll receive a copy of anything that you saw me writing. Aside from Mr. Zuri, if there aren't any burning questions, we're going to go ahead and end the session here. On Wednesday, I'm probably going to treat that like unofficial office hours. We probably will do an attendance quiz, again, somewhere between 5 to 10 questions. Once you complete that assignment, and it's only going to be available during class, right? So that's just for attendance. It's not really for a grade. I'm not going to factor into your grade, but that's how we're going to take attendance that day. So I'm going to make that available. Unlimited attempts for that 50 minutes. Once you're done with it on Wednesday, that'll be it. Okay. So aside from Mr. Zuri, if there aren't any other burning questions, we're going to go ahead and end the session here, and we'll meet back on Wednesday. And from one beautiful mind to another, take care. All right, let me stop like the stream stuff. Let's see, I think I can go like this. Nope. Let me stop the live stream real quick. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Yeah, so there was a question that says, is the guide for everyone to view? It's an unofficial guide. All I did was pull all the questions from sections 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. And you can use it for practice if you like, you can use it. It's not, yeah, that's all it is. Okay. I think, Mr. Zuri, I'm going to put you into Mr. Zuri, if that's you, be sure that your username shows your first and last name, so when I take attendance, you can be sure that you get.
Oh,
Let me stop the live stream.
here, let me change your real quick.